A couple of months ago, I was sat down and forced to watch Human Centipede, and I'm still unsure if it was a joke or punishment. So about 17 minutes in, I just started screaming at the TV. And not for the reasons you might think. But what had me so passionately enraged was how medically inaccurate this movie is. I'm sure that one of your most immediate reactions is, Jess, it's a film. Calm down. And while typically I would side with you, there's an entire scene where he explains the procedure that's going to take place and why everything needs to happen. He's clearly thought out the medical steps that need to occur in order for him to construct this thing. Instead of being incredibly repulsed by the premise of the film, most of my focus was on what would need to happen in order for a human centipede to actually be successful. So these are the biggest flaws I saw in his construction. The first one we're going to talk about are the hands and the wrists, and it's for the same reason that he wanted to reconstruct the knees. As someone who spends more time than they like to admit playing Tetris online, the more you spend with your wrists like this, it really starts to hurt and completely takes its toll on you. Add the pressure you're going to have from putting a good portion of your body weight onto it and walking around that way when your wrists are just not meant to handle that kind of pressure at that angle. I mean, do you see these wrists? I have incredibly tiny wrists. I know that if I were to just walk around like this for even a couple days, the pain is just going to be tremendous. Honestly, it's going to make your wrist deteriorate really quickly. The one that bothers me above all other issues, and I really feel like should have been his #1 priority, is going to be the Foramen Magnum. It's that spot where your skull and your spine meet. Now you and I, we're bipedal, which means that we walk on 2 legs. And our Foramen Magnum sits at the base in order to help us with that. And it's gonna sit a lot differently in animals that are quadrupedal. Anybody who's hunched over a computer for a long amount of time knows the kind of strain that can put on your neck. Continuing with the subject of them now being quadrupedal versus bipedal, another thing that's going to have to change are the eyes. The eyes would need to be changed regardless of whether or not their Foramen Magnum is changed as well. In the position that they're currently at, they've got this weird like shoulders down, neck up, so their eyes are going to be constantly fighting downward in order to be able to see where they're going. And if the Foramen Magnum was changed, then they're going to be more repositioned to where all they're seeing is right in front of them. So no matter where their head is actually sitting, there's going to be a lot of strain on those eyes. Ultimately, the best solution would be to have only the first person still have their sight, because any others to follow are going to constantly be trying to refocus where their sight is. I'm going to let you know right here and right now, this is probably one of the more gruesome parts of this topic. When our human centipede wakes up, they all have bandages around their face still. So that stuff has not fully healed. This skin right here, it's not very thick. I can tell you right now that when those people wake up, their instant reaction is going to be to thrash around. And really, I don't care what kind of material you use to stitch up that mouth, nothing is going to be strong enough that they can't just tear away. Either you need to reinforce those jowls and those lips, or they should have stayed sedated well past the recovery period. So say we have the basic structure down, right? Their Foramen Magnum has been changed, their hands are changed, he did the knee construction, the eyes are done, taken care of. Another thing that needs to be fixed is the way that the digestive system works. Currently, only the first person is going to be getting nutrients. Our bodies are a little bit different than creatures like cows. Cows have multiple stomachs that the food travels through, and each one breaks it down a little bit further. This is the type of system that the human centipede would need. Because you're taking 3 individuals and fusing them together, they're not going to operate like one single organism. Only that first person is going to get enough nutrients to continue on for more than a couple days. So it wasn't until I started editing this video that I realized the last 20 seconds didn't record. I don't really have an actual question for you guys this week, so I guess let me know if you ever sat through Human Centipede, and if so, did you have the same problems with it that I did? Make sure you check in next week when we take Harry Potter and dinosaurs and combine them into one awesome force. So I was shit.